Powell stands firm, no rate cut. We're clear to September. Let's talk about it on the weekly update.
Okay, friends, let's talk about the no rate cut scenario. Here's what you need to know. First up, as expected, the Fed did not cut rates today. Now, this was widely expected, and this was, telegraphed well beforehand. What I think, however, this was the complete right decision if you're looking at all the historical data points. I think if you're looking at some future projections as to where the data is going to be, I think that would have maybe tipped Jay Powell's hand a little bit. But we didn't get a rate cut, and what this does is this takes rate cuts off the board until September, so we've got a little bit of time to go. Now, this is happening at such an interesting time. What I'm showing you here, this is the S&P 500 revenues, whether they came in above, in line, or below estimates. And we've had about half of the S&P 500 reports so far. And what's interesting is if you look at revenue beats, this is some of the lowest revenue beats that we've seen in the last 5 years. You have to go all the way back to 2019 to find a worse number. And since we're in the middle of earnings season, remember, I love earnings season because it's a good indicator of where the economy is. And what's interesting about revenue is you really can't fake that number. Profitability, profit margins, all the other things that finance people like to look at, that stuff's great, but really it's a measure of how strong or how aggressive your accounting department is. You can't fake revenue. You can't fake sales. You can't fake top line. And so when I see revenue beats, starting to slip here, what that tells me is I think my read about the economy is correct here. So I would have been completely fine with a rate cut today. We didn't get it. That's okay. It's going to get pushed off till September. So for the market, this doesn't change too much because this is exactly what we expected to see. I think the bigger movement in the market is going to come today after the market closes. We're going to have Meta's earnings. And then on Thursday, I think we have Amazon and Apple. That's going to finish, Mag 7 reporting season pretty much. And then, of course, by the end of this week, everybody else will report. And so next week, we can start to look at earnings season in aggregate. We'll have basically 80% of the data at that point in time. So we can start to make some, value judgments as to how strong the economy is and what corporate America is going to do. So what does it all mean? No rate cut scenario? Well, Jay Powell didn't cut rates today. What this means is our most likely, indication for a rate cut is going to be September, barring something, bad happening and an emergency cut coming through. But I don't think that's going to happen. So September is our most likely period for a rate cut. What this also means is this means that the economic storm that we talked about last week is probably going to get worse over the summer, right? We needed some rate cuts. We needed some stimulation. We can see it in top line, that this economy is, starting to cool off pretty rapidly here. We're not going to get any reinforcements until September. And point 4, this was the same point from last week. So during this time, we want to focus on 2 things. One is the intensity of the current storm. 2, signs that the storm is ending and that the medicine is working. And so what I would say is, point 1, well, the storm's going to get a little worse because we didn't get a rate cut today. This is a powerful signal for things like stimulating consumer behavior, all the rest of that. And we're looking for signs that the medicine is working. They're giving us till September before we get our first dose of medicine. So things are going to get a little bit worse than that. But so far, this earnings season has been okay. I've got worries about what happens a quarter from now. But we'll see that when we get there. That's the weekly news update. I'll catch you this weekend for the markets review. Take care. Okay, friends, that was the video. Hope you liked it. If you found it informative, good, entertaining, I'd love if you could scroll down here beneath the video and give me a like there. It helps us out with the algorithm. And then if you want to be notified first of anything new that we upload to the channel, if you come over here, click subscribe, you'll be the first to know as soon as we upload anything. Appreciate it. See you soon.